Greetings. Welcome to Hot Chat, the platform we unpack real life issues affecting the youth. My name is Kenneth Jeza, yours, Kerim Dio. And before we get into our Hot Chat of today, remember Zimbabwe Daily, Agare Ngubura, Chupis. Allow me to welcome our guest. Say, introduce yourself to us.
It's okay. Thank you, Kerim. In the network, Richard Chikomo. I'm from Reaching to Environmental Consultants. Thank you so much for hosting me today, Zimbabwe Daily. Thank you so much, Kerim.
Thank you, sir. Our hot chat for today, we really want to know, is there an impact of climate change upon us, my youth? We want to know, could what affected this climate change? But before that, I think we have to understand what climate change, Church. Mr. Sir, what is climate change?
Okay, thank you so much. I think in brief, I can say climate change is the rapid rising of temperatures, mostly upon the earth. So trukuti kukwira kwema-temperatures munharaunda dzedu kana kuti panyika yese itenderere zvinogona kuzokonzeresa or to affect how it is going to have an impact on the environment mostly or on the earth. So I don't know what climate change kuchinja kwema-temperatures zvichikonzeresa kuchinjawo kwemamiriro ekunze.
Okay.
I think I can briefly say that.
Okay.
Yes.
My youth, some of you may ask yourself about this climate change. But believe me, stay tuned. Uchaona it's gonna affect you somewhere, somehow. So we need to know what are the causes of this climate change.
It's okay. Thank you so much once again. Climate change, it has a lot of causing agents, but over the years we've noticed that climate change is mainly caused by the human hand. If I say a human hand, climate change irikonzerwa nesu vanhu. People might want to ask, why, Mr. Chikoma, are you saying climate change is being caused by us humans? You can look at the outlook of the world. Let us not focus on the world, but focus close home to Zimbabwe or to Africa or to Southern Africa. There is a rapid thirst for growth, for economic growth. There is rapid thirst for industrialization. Our countries are focusing more on industrialization of our economies, which has a positive impact on our well-being. Because industrialization is the one which is creating jobs for us. It's bringing food on the table.
Yeah, you see.
So, climate change. But we need to focus behind industrialization. We look at the issue of energy sources. Where do we get our energy from our gas? We always hear Kune Wange power station, Kune Karibu power station. So we need to know. So for this case, climate change, we need to focus on the issue of fossil fuels. We will look at the petroleum itself, and we will look also at the fossil fuels in forms of coal. Because these are the main emitters on the environment, because there's a desire for industrialization. So as a result of that taste of industrialization, we'll end up extracting more coal for energy sources, because we need energy for industrialization, we need energy for our homes, we need energy also to run the offices that you have. So we can only look at that for now. But the other natural causes, those ones, they might cause at least about 15 to 20%. But the greatest chunk of climate change results, they are seeing there is a hand human I think I can safely say so.
se isusuka unoza semageto youth
Mm.
handiti ndo patechitoti ndokurarama kwedu
Yes.
handiti but imimi yaseying kuti zvine impact so toraramawo sei manje because ndo matinoza mabasa ari kunetsa zvekudaro like ezvino tinotogadzira zvai zvokukanya zvidhinha topisa handiti maybe nefarming zvikorokoza chichichichi that's our form of living yatiri kuita izvino but imimi yaseying kuti there is climate change so muda kuti tipanzwisise sei torarama sei.
All right. Yeah. I'm not saying people should desert their way of life. Kana handisi kuti mageto idzi ngatisiye nzira dzedu dzekurarama nadzo because ndo pari kutobva mari yacho ndo pari kutobva mari yacho titobhilinga mutonazvo but I'm saying kuti the results of climate change, it is because of our input, meaning to say if I say deforestation can lead to climate change, I'm saying if there is an emission that has happened, because with methane gas emissions, with a carbon dioxide emissions, so these ones, the forest or biodiversity, they act as carbon sinkers. These ones ndo miti ndo inotora carbon dioxide, your producer oxygen yatinozofema. So if we indulge ourselves in mining, mostly we can say illegal mining, because ndo chatinoti chikorokoza. So it means that there is cutting down of trees, which is the reduction of our carbon sinkers. So we are ending up tavanema prolonged heat seasons, tavanema changed rain seasons, which might be experienced by shorter with a lot of rainfall or long with less rainfall. Saka tiri kuti isusu tisu titori nebandiko rezviri kukonzeresa kuti isusu tishaye mvura, because we might feed the one hand but killing the other hand. Tinoona tichiwana mari yechikorokosa, but we have other sectors which need to be fed. Because if you look at it, semuno muZimbabwe, we have a lot of young people who are living through farming. Vari kumaruzevha vari kurima, anotoita chimuseura chake chenyimo kana chenzungu chekuti kana dzaibva ndozondotengesa kwagare ndowanawo mari yangu yekuti zvandokwanisa kudii kuita. But chitarisa munhu iwo wachera goridhe rako waisa mari muhomwe, but ari kumusha hachawani mvura, chibage chacho hachichakuri, nzungu dzacho hadzichaibvi, saka takupesa taane drought. Saka these things we can link them. So tichazotarisa kumberi kuti how can we combat the issues to do with climate change? How should we live as young people? But tiri kuti zvaizvezvi kana zvechimanje manje isusu tine zvekuita kuti tizo experience chatinoti climate change. I can safely say so.
Pakaoma. Sure, because with the lifestyle yatiri kuita nezvamuri kutaurira kunetsa kuita mabasa zvakaoma
zviriko, because if you want to see for yourself, there are certain things that we do that affects the environment, which is mostly, for now, there's rapid thirst for growth. Maguta medu amuchakwanu, we are now opening up new places. Kuno kwanana Madogere North, kwanana chatopesera tatana east west locations. There's that deep thirst for development. So we are creating space for us to live, but it has a long-term effect on us, because the emission will always go on. You understand? So if the emissions go on, we should have something that can suck up the waste which is being disposed to the atmosphere, which is, we can call it air pollution. If you look at issues to do with air pollution, they've got also a direct impact on our health. We have issues to do with tuberculosis. It will expand into other issues. It even affects our performance as individuals. Some get to know affect because uchabatwa ne-TB. And there are other interconnected matters to do with climate change. So we can safely say so kuti ndozvimwe zvinokonzera climate change, the deep thirst for development.
Yeah, ipapo mataura zvarakashida kutoti tinzwisise kuti zvine an impact here upon our health, climate change zvamurutaura.
Yes, it has an impact on our health because the emission which is being disposed, and it's not air pollution. If our air is now polluted, it means that the air is now dead. Miti yatatema yaya cannot, yamishoma zvekuti cannot cope with the levels of emissions which are going on. Saka it will end up with our health risks atinosangana nawo. And saka we need to know kuti as much as we emit, it will always come back to us. Drought is a direct impact to our health. Drought change, but it is a result of climate change. Tikasakohwa tinoita nzara, tikasaita nzara, our bodies tinotoaffectika nezvirwere, tinoita vana pneumonia, tinoita lack of balanced diet in ourselves. There are certain things that I do not own. Hunger, it's a health risk caused by climate change. So it's not only. Even flooding can have an impact on our health also. We have loss of life. Property is damaged. People will get injured. So it's not a health risk as a result of climate change. So yes, the climate change has an impact on health issues. And even our government will not cope with the levels of the impacts of climate change, mostly on health, because we have to adapt each year. Excessive heat, excessive heat, they're not heat wave. We have issues to do with dehydration and stuff. So you know, there's not only impact to have issues to do with malaria. If the temperature has got hot, it's time to be pieces. So now even surprised that even Harare it can exist as a region 5 at some point. But in what I do expect out to region 2, 3. And now it can live as a region 5 days. Also malaria. My issues to do with malaria. So no one go downstream. My region 5, Wange, Lupani, Gwanda. But even the issues to do with malaria. Even cholera is caused by flooding. Our drainage doesn't dispose a lot of water. So the keeping of water consider malaria breed. So mosquito if they breed, so malaria typhoid, consider foot of the existence of contaminated water. So those is not only my impact to market. So to restore market a plan the drainage which is in their areas. Street corners, to clear the drainage system. Those can also reduce the October solution. It can also reduce issues to do with health risks at now, breeding of mosquitoes and stuff. Can a drainage but the water can safely go downstream. So yes, there's other health, there are other productive issues which can cause. We can talk of agriculture. In Zimbabwe, we can say agriculture is one of the key economic growers, but climate change has an impact. We can have other modern types of combating climate change in agriculture, like adopting irrigation. And we can talk of my reserve irrigation schemes which are being made. We have A1 farmers, we have A2 farmers who are into productivity. And also, but for rural people, an irrigation scheme is not enough. There's some people who don't but they don't harvest. So productivity in Nika is being affected by climate change. It's not only makora, not only could go right and Zara, can a Nika China to record. Could this year we have recorded, could we have a drought. So tiri kutotestify kuti climate change has an impact on us. Yes, people who are doing irrigation, they can win, but they can also have a challenge of water availability if there's climate change. Saka zviri kwese unogona une machinery yacho for irrigation, but mvura, water availability can be less, which can also affect your productivity. So there's an impact which will go in a long way to even affect the availability of food to the nation. Saka tozopesa nenzara, it can also lead to other economic impacts. Takuzoita zvecrisis, takuti hakuna chingwa, hakuna chibage, saka we can safely kwatova nenzara, but zvabva as a result of climate change. Saka inobata both health, inobata social life yedu, inobata even the economic life yevanhu. Mabasa anoshaika kana munhu ari kushanda kutoti kuzimugodhi, kana tikatadza tikarima soyabheans dzedu dzikasaibva, andika we can lose jobs, andika we can now spend much money takuita zvekuimport. Nyika inotongoimpota chibage soyabheans kuti ifeed into the productive sector. Saka izvozvo it's a true testimony kuti climate change can even affect the agricultural sector. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this climate change inenge itori mhuka chaicho. This climate change ichatori pama problems, itori mhandu chaicho. So is there a link, a connection between this climate change and biodiversity?
Yes, there's a link. Definitely there's a link. We can try to understand what is biodiversity.
Exactly.
When we talk of biodiversity, we're now looking at the environment, both the wildlife and the flora and the fauna. I can say safely say, togona kuti teta kutarisawo zvemiti, teta kutarisa mhuka, teta kutarisawo zvemumvura chaizvo. Saka there's a link. Let me safely say climate change affects biodiversity, or the lack of biodiversity can result for us to have climate change. So we can choose kushaikwa kwemiti kunokonzera climate change. Kuwanikwa kwemiti kunogona kubatsira to reduce issues to do with climate change. Ndambozvitaura kuti deforestation can lead to climate change. And the lack of biodiversity on the earth is tikatarisira kuti statistics dzekutarisa kuti the level of deforestation is quite high. That's why tava nemarapid high temperatures. Some they might be more cooler temperatures. But temperatures edu are not so stable. Saka we can safely say so. On wildlife, we have migrating species that are existing. Tinoona kuti izvezvi because quite a hunger ikaitika haisi kuitika kuvanhu chete. It can also lead hunger to even the wildlife. We can look to animals like elephants. Those ones can be affected by hunger, so they will end up migrating. So I say Zimbabwe, we have a lot of elephants, but they can go kuna Mozambique, they can go to South Africa, they can even go end up being kuna Zambia, because kuno kunenge kwaita nzara. So wildlife tichapedzisira tava nema effects also not on wildlife only, but even on tourism. We cannot advertise kuti vanhu vauya kuZimbabwe vazoenda kuzoona mhuka dzakaenda dzese. And if the prey moves, vanashumba vakutomovhawo, ana ambadaudza kutoenda. Saka there's a lot of impact of climate change on the biodiversity. So they link. We can also look to aquatic life. It won't affect us much, but it's not going to affect to the other world setups. So kwakafanana Europe, unoita zve-ice melting. We've got other animals who live in ice. They can cope with cold temperatures, but there is rapid melting of ice in Europe. So those animals, those ones, if they can't cope, they die. So we end up having species to extinction. We can lead other species to extinction. andika isu tomunzwa kuti kwauya nemadhanaso rimwe tsoka yakazombonikwa kakati but hatichatombo we cannot say takazviona takazvinzwa. Saka mayouth anhasi they are affected with climate change, mostly on biodiversity. Dzimwe mhuka hatichakwanisi kudziona andika kana ida kutoona mhuka takutoendaona nalion cheetah park, but we cannot have a true feeling kana mhuka iri mukeji. We should have safely say let us go kuHwange andika there are cheetahs in Hwange, but they are now limited. Why? Because of climate change. Elephants unotogona kuti nhasi ende kana kugona nenzou andika, but you see those guys telling that our elephants they're migrating. Takutona a few numbers, so we will no longer experience the pleasures or the excitement of our own tourism because of what? Of climate change. So we also look like Kunana Vic Falls, I mean to say. There was a time where there are speculations that Vic Falls is getting dry. And if someone who is in Europe hearing kwantoda kuenda Vic Falls kunzi kuri dry, hachatouyi. So the revenue which is being seek by the government, is racism. Isusu maghetto youth employment creation iri kuitwa through mahotels. Because kune mahotels, kune masafari lodge, kune taafecto basa ropera mundara mapadheni andika zvakutolida futi ku other social impacts. Unopesera kuita zvemadrugs zvemusombo nechii. Saka zvine it's a broad space, or it's a broad topic that we need, which can go deeper to an individual level. Saka zvine izvozvo zviriko zvinototi affect. Saka isusu semaghetto youth we should be the advocates for climate change, kuti mhuka dzisamigrate, kuti masango edu asatengwa andika. Because izvezvi takungozati mashuku ari kuwanikwa kwamutoko, mashuku ari kuwanikwa kwakati andika. Inoenda from Chiredzi takutoziva kuti kune maareas kwaimbozara madora, but because of persistence of veld fires hachawanika kusisina. Kana makutoda madora makutofamba unoona namwenezo andika. So the livelihoods of the rural people can be affected by climate change. Because some communities they live by selling madora. Mukanaona ngagwanda vanotoita matime ekuti vanotondogara musango vakaungana kumiti vachinonga madora. Saka if that livelihood strategy has been affected, it can lead to hunger, it can lead to starvation andika. Saka we should, isusu maghetto youths, be able to be the watchdogs of what? Of our biodiversity. Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Unoziva isusu tinoita zvinhu zvine benefit kwatiri, hatidi kungonzi So my question is, how can we participate in this climate change to reduce it or to control it? I don't know if any way we can control it. Semaghetto youth tozvikwanisa papi zvinoita kuti ti benefit tomorrow. Yes.
It's okay. Paranaka. Thank you so much. Zviriko zvakawanda. Titori nema NGOs muno munyika kana kuti mamwe ma entities. We've even there's a department for climate change, Ministry of Environment. So it's easier for us. We can be in the advocate space. I think Muno Marari only, I know of more than 22 CBOs which deals with climate change issues, directly or indirectly. So if they do environmental advocacy, they will always talk about what? About climate change. We need to find out where we can do it. And again, so besides joining the advocacy groups, we can even do it ourselves. We need to identify which species are being affected. I can give you an example. Wetlands, they help us a lot to combat climate change. Maizvizva ndabata mawetlands aya hatinawo munotomaziva unotoziva kuti uko kune madoro kune matoro ari kwakati. And those ones we can utilize them, but we need to utilize them wisely and sustainably. We have got species that has been affected by deforestation. We can do afforestation. Semageto youths kuti kumaraini kwangu nokoti akune timu ngaritsvake kana miti yekudzvara. And as urbanization is there, some areas hakuna asati kwawana magetsi. Some people they live by gas, some want to notsvaka huni. Sekuna dombo shau, sekuna heat cliff. Vamwe notsvaka huni. Saka ikoko kwacho kuri kutemwa miti. Let us be the watchdogs. Kuti at least let us have a community police. Kuti hakuna munhu anotema muti munyoro. And this can be this tikatotarisa pa some of the sustainable management of our biodiversity. IKS inotoshanda, indigenous knowledge systems. Zvatinoziva kumusha yedu isu. Kuti kumusha hautemi muti munyoro. Ukatema muti munyoro unoripiswa. Saka ngatizvishandisewo even kana kumaguta. Kuti kana vanhu vachitondotsvaka huni kumaguta nyaya dzekushaka kwemagetsi dzimwe nguva. Andika ngatiendei tinoti vanhu vanotsvakawo miti yakaoma kana kwakagorwa kune miti yakaoma ndiyo vanodi ndiyo vanotema. Saka izvozvo zvinogona kutibatsira also even to combat issues to do with climate change. Let us I think muno muZimbabwe tinodada zvikuru sei nyaya dzekuti takadzidza isu. You are the most literate. So let us use the knowledge that you have got. And tinoona kuti munyika muna mabasa, but we can create jobs for ourselves. And taking advantage of climate change. What am I trying to say? Tinoona kutanga, and we've got people who are into engineering, my electrician, my boiler makers. We can think of creating a solar farm. And as young people, tinoona kuti mari inoona kutinetsa. But we can have our project proposal. Tonyora totsvakawo mafunders anotibatsira kuti tigadzire solar farm. Those will even reduce the demand of electricity from the obvious sources of electricity, which is coal and hydropower, for example, in Zimbabwe. Also to do with how can we sustain ourselves to evade climate change. And we need to focus on small grain crops. We can talk about monga, sorghum. We can farm those ones because chibage demand more time. And unless tatotenga mbeu hybrid akwa kugadzira hybrid seed kuda to try kuevade climate change. Kuti paito short period yekurima towana long term gain. So we need to focus also on that. Tine mamwe small projects anogona kutibatsira andika anogona kutokombata the less you demand on the biodiversity. We can have my small livestock project, ana goat, ana sheep breeding. There are a lot of people right now vari kuita zvegoat and sheep breeding, even cattle ranching. Izvozvo zvinotibatsira futi. Andika we need to look for alternatives. Zvinogona kuti tisaramba tichipa pressure to our biodiversity. And even to have a section of young people who are into environment, very into tourism and hospitality. Ogadzirawo travel and tour agency. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but to mention a few. But we can highlight some of the things. And how do you combat even hunger itself? There are some but do you know that some people who are making a living kuchengeta road run, breed road run. Can do it. Those are some of the small projects. Mageto united. Mukatadza ngotsvakawo matanda enyu kana cage yenyu moita huku dzenyu dzechiboy. Huku dzechiboy they need less monitoring. Ngomga more feed. Those are some of the things that can help us to cope with climate change. I think my solutions are akawanda. We can spend the whole day digital my solutions. as a country, we need to also focus on the reduction of extraction of coal, even though the use of hydropower. But we need to now to look at the focus on alternative sources of energy. But solar energy, we can even explore wind energy. So some of those are some of the solutions that I can tell you to take. Tikati samakuita izvi togona kubatsirikana. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chikomo, for your wise teaching. Your last words of encouragement to my youth leader, especially
Panya climate change. Thank you so much. I can safely say, let us not give in to climate change. As young people, let us use the knowledge that we have so that we can combat climate change and also to cope with climate change. We can win. We can survive with climate change with us. So I encourage young people to be innovative, creative, so that we can live with climate change and we can win. And also we need to be advocates for biodiversity conservation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chikomo. You heard it yourself. There are so many ways. Musachi about this climate change. So there are so many ways. If it can help you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chikomo, from Rich Intel Environmental Consultants.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your wise words.
Thank you so much.
Mageters, musaswere mupa mabridge, please. Musate zvifodya, musate zvemadrugs. Ngatitsvage zvekuita. I'm out. Yours, Kenneth Chesa. Stay tuned for more programs to come.
Thank you so much.